Well, coming into the WNBA, Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into it, she stormed into it with even more hype than ever. Unfortunately, this hype didn't matter to many in the league, at least until very recently, when it became undoubtedly obvious who the actual face of the WNBA is. So join me as I walk you through the very moment Caitlin Clark became the face of the NBA. The college queen who broke the league. Long before Caitlin Clark stepped foot on the WNBA court, it was clear to many that she wasn't just some basketball star, but a walking highlights reel. There was nothing like her, and that's saying something for a generation of basketball fans who have seen women's basketball legends like Sue Bird, Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, Gerald Miller, to name a few. We're talking record-breaking performances, logo threes and sold-out arenas, all at an unprofessional level. Caitlin Clark's regular season finale against Ohio State had an average ticket price of $408. That's the most expensive women's college basketball game of all time, and it was sold out. Before Caitlin Clark, Iowa had only sold out 3 regular season games in its history. Well, Caitlin's senior season saw them sell out all of their home games for the first time ever. And she wasn't doing all of these because of some privilege. Caitlin was must-watch TV, and she made sure to turn Iowa games into must-watch TV. She was pulling Steph Curry range threes with zero hesitation, and fans couldn't get enough. At Iowa, she wasn't just scoring points, she was rewriting record books. NCAA all-time leading scorer? Check. Half-court buzzer beaters? Check. Sold-out arenas for women's basketball games? Triple check. So, coming into the WNBA, Caitlin Clark going first overall was the least surprising thing. What was surprising? Well, the ratings and attention she brought to the league. Caitlin's draft was the most watched in WNBA history. Many of her games have surpassed NBA playoffs ratings. Social media has exploded, and people who had never watched a WNBA game before were suddenly glued to the screen. Caitlin Clark broke the league in just her first year, and although it should have been obvious who the face of the league was, she found more critics than fans. Her fame and talent caused divided opinions in the league, and it was left for a debate who the actual face of the league was. Naysayers. For many in the league, it didn't matter that because of Caitlin Clark, celebrities were showing up to WNBA games, jerseys were getting sold out, and arenas were getting moved because she's in town. Caitlin Clark was not the face of their league, and she was just getting the clout because of her privilege. Sports journalist Monica Judge called her rookie Caitlin Clark the white damsel in distress in the WNBA before taking a subtle jab at her on Twitter when she tweeted, "Caitlin Clark is the Taylor Swift of women's basketball. No, I will not elaborate." Sports journalist Joy Taylor went on national TV to admit that no one knew who Caitlin was until Angel Reese made her famous when they faced each other in the 2023 NCAA championship game. "We would not be talking about Caitlin Clark the way that we do if it wasn't the moment with Angel Reese, and I would die on this hill," Taylor said. At some point, it felt like the supposed faces of the league were disgusted at the impact Caitlin Clark had as a rookie. After the news of Caitlin Clark's 8-figure shoe deal with Nike came out, Las Vegas Aces star and 2-time WNBA champion A'ja Wilson seemed to take a shot at Caitlin on Twitter when she immediately posted a Bible scripture on Twitter. A'ja had posted Psalm 37:7, a Bible verse that advised exercising patience in the face of others' success. Seems neutral, but no one was buying that on the internet because of the timing, and to top it off, A'ja at the time didn't have a shoe deal. For several WNBA legends and veterans, it didn't matter that Caitlin Clark's rookie season was the most watched in 24 years, and the playoffs the most watched in 25 years. Even when NBA legends, players, and some women's basketball legends all agree that Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly the face of the WNBA, many in the league took it as an insult. A rookie being the face of the WNBA? Ooh. Well, little wonder she was getting targeted, hard-fouled, and even mocked by opponents. You could tell that it was personal. Well, instead of backing down, Caitlin kept coming. She took the hits, learned fast, and started dropping dimes, deep threes, and double-doubles. And the fans? Oh, they noticed. And while her presence in the league was easily mocked, her absence soon showed the league who the real face of the WNBA was. June 14th, 2025. Coming into her sophomore year, Caitlin Clark's talent was undeniable among her peers. They might want to deny it, but you don't aggressively defend someone you don't rate highly from half court. But if it were down to just talent, Caitlin Clark had an undeniable claim to one of the faces in the league at least. A rookie who led the league in assists, a young guard who in just 42 games in her professional career already ranks third in the league's all-time triple-double list, tying Hall of Famer Candace Parker, who played 433 games to get there. This is a generational talent, but the face of the league? Well, who the real face of the league actually is became obvious after Caitlin Clark was sidelined with a quadriceps injury. She was out for 5 games, returning on June 14th against the defending WNBA champion New York Liberty, who had yet to lose a game in the season. Unfortunately for the Liberty, a returning Caitlin is far too dangerous.
She had made 7 in a row over her last 2.
Her first point of the game was over Brianna Stewart to let the rest of the team know it was about to be a long night.
Ready to go 10-0 for the first time in their history.
And sure, it was starting to feel like a long night in just the first quarter of the game.
Bringing the ball down, looking inside, Aaliyah Boston not open. Look at that crossover, then the spin. Tough.
The Liberty took a 17-6 lead before Caitlin took over in the last 3 minutes of the first quarter, converting a 3-point play before making deep 3-pointers from 33, 27 and 31 feet in 3 consecutive possessions, spanning 38 seconds to tie it at 24.
9 and 30, but look at the depth on these fields. 2 players with incredible up. And she's certainly feeling it. Left side. Clark, another long 3.
Throughout the game, Caitlin Clark was red hot, dropping dimes and shooting deep threes. She ended that game tying her career high for 3-pointers. With 9 assists and 8 rebounds. She shot 55% from the field and was just 3 points shy of her all-time career high in points. Surely this kind of performance does not go under the radar, but it wasn't the stats that actually made it certain Caitlin was the face of the league. It was the numbers. While Caitlin Clark was out injured and the other supposed faces of the league were playing, WNBA viewership dropped by 55%. Wow. In fact, the Indiana Fever went from 1.8 million viewers to under 847,000 without her, and guess what? Her comeback game saw 2.2 million people tuning in to watch her play. That game, a random league game early in the season, delivered the 3rd most watched WNBA game on ABC ever. If it wasn't clear before, Caitlin's return game soon made it clear who the face of women's basketball is. And do you know that the number of viewers of Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals didn't touch the numbers Caitlin Clark pulled for her final game as a college player? Not even one of the most watched NBA Finals in recent years, Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals, could outdraw the 2024 NCAA Women's March Madness Final between South Carolina and Iowa. After the Liberty game, it became obvious that Caitlin Clark is not just the face of the Indiana Pacers, but the face of the league. The new WNBA era has a name, and it is Caitlin Clark. Millions of basketball fans all around the world know it already because after her return game against the New York Liberty, they were buzzing. According to a user's comment, and just like that, the W is worth watching again. Another user commented, "This game is basketball history. Not women's basketball, but basketball in general. The greatest exhibition of long-distance three-point shooting in history." Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is definitely worth your time. See you later. Take care. Bye.